This is the Good Governance Radio. GGR. Stay with us.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
The Good Governance Radio.
This is the news on Good Governance Radio. This is the news on Good Governance Radio.
Hello and good morning. The time is 9 a.m. and this is the news on the hour on GGR Good Governance Radio. I am Akimbo Oluwatobilaba David. First off, our top stories. Lagos State government denies alleged massacre. Federal government describes Twitter's operation in Nigeria as illegal. ECOWAS court restrains federal government from prosecuting Twitter users in Nigeria.
This is the news on Good Governance Radio.
And now the news in full. The Lagos State government says most of the injuries sustained by protesters at the Lekki tollgate were from matched courts and stampede. The head of service stated this on Tuesday when he appeared before the Lagos Judicial Panel on Police Brutality to represent the state government. Mr. Muri Okunla was at the panel to present a timeline of the activities of the Lagos state government during the EndSARS protest, including the Lekki toll gate shooting. The head of service noted that the state government established an ad hoc committee referred to as the Incident Command Center during the protest to monitor the security situation in Lagos. According to Okonla, when the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, visited the hospital and General Hospital Marina on October 21, 2020, it was discovered that 25 patients were receiving treatment in the two hospitals, while stressing that only 2 persons died as a result of the incident at Lekki tollgate. The federal government of Nigeria says the operation of Twitter in the Nigerian social media space is not legally permissible. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, stated this when he appeared before a House of Representative investigative hearing. He said Twitter was used to disseminate information that endangered the life and security of Nigerians and caused disunity in the country. Speaking at the investigative hearing on Tuesday, Mohammed said the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 does not permit foreign companies to do business in Nigeria if not registered, insisting that Twitter cannot be given the legitimate right to operate within the country. The ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja has restrained the federal government from imposing sanction or harassing, intimidating, arresting, or prosecuting Twitter users. It also restricted the government from carrying out such actions against any other social media service provider, as well as media house, pending the hearing and determination of a suit challenging the federal government's suspension of Twitter operations in Nigeria. The court gave the restraining order after hearing arguments from parties in a suit filed by the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project and 176 concerned Nigerians. According to the court, interference with Twitter is a violation of human rights, and the Nigerian government must take immediate step to implement the order. The President Muhammad Buhari has pledged to bequeath a citizen-led policing system to the nation, declaring that his administration has demonstrated firm commitment towards changing the principle and strategy of policing in Nigeria. He made the promise while addressing the passing out parade of 418 officers of the 3rd Regular Cadet Course at the Nigerian Police Academy in Kano, where he explained his directive to the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission on the upward review of police salaries. President Buhari, who was represented by the Minister of Policing Affairs, said a citizen-led policing system informed the approval of the abduction of community policing as the internal security strategy for the country, as well as the approval of funds to support the implementation process. The president noted that the policing reform initiative embarked upon by his administration had focused on improving the welfare of the force, recruiting of 10,000 junior police officers annually, investing in the upgrade of facilities at the Nigerian Police Academy and other police training institutions in the country, among many others. The Senate has urged the federal Capital Development Authority to take action on the renovation of the National Assembly complex to stop the leakage of the roof during raining season. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Service, Sani Musa, said this when he spoke with newsmen on Tuesday in Abuja while urging the FCDA to commence renovation of the complex within the shortest possible time. It would be recalled that the complex was flooded on Tuesday due to leakages from the roof after a heavy downpour. The federal government of Nigeria says it was doing everything possible to secure the release of the students kidnapped from the Federal Government College in Kebbi State. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mr. Sunday Enoho, said this while monitoring the 2021 National Board of Business and Technological Examinations in Abuja. On the 2021 NABTEB, Enoho called on parents to ensure that their children acquire technical skills to advance their dreams of the future. He also said there was a need to encourage students to get involved in skill-related subjects in order to improve the effectiveness in the workplace. This is still Good Governance Radio. News on the hour still to come after the short break. Fighting breaks out in Ethiopian northern region. Do stay with us.
This is the news on Good Governance Radio.
Welcome back. It is the news on Good Governance Radio. And straight up to the foreign scene, report has said that heavy fighting has broken out in several areas in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray between rebels and federal troops. The rebel Tigray Defense Force said it had seized several towns where witnesses have told newsmen they have seen its fighters patrolling. Meanwhile, the federal Ethiopian army dismissed the claim, saying it was fake news. This is the most serious fighting since November, when the Ethiopian government declared victory in the conflict. Thousands of people have been killed and millions displaced in the war that started almost 8 months ago. And finally, on sports in the country, the federal government has named former Super Eagles striker Jude Odion Hidalu as an ambassador of the National Principals Cup. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, disclosed this on Tuesday when Jude paid him a visit at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja, which is undergoing rehabilitation. In his response, Jude appreciated the gesture bestowed on him by the sport minister and promised to make himself available to play in a game of X-Stars when the stadium is completely rehabilitated. That was the news on Good Governance Radio. But just before we leave, a quick recap of our top stories here. The Lagos State government says most of the injuries sustained by protesters at the Lekki tollgate were from machete cuts and stampede. The ECOWAS Court of Justice in Abuja has restrained the federal government from imposing sanctions and harassing, intimidating, arresting, or persecuting Twitter users. And finally, report says heavy fighting has broken out in several areas in Ethiopia's northern region of the Tigray, between the Tigray rebels and federal troops. That was the news on Good Governance Radio on the hour, as edited by Chris Bassi, and I am Akimbo Oluwatobiloba David. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on Good Governance Radio, or you can stream us live at our website www.ggr.com.ng, and you can be a part of any and all of our conversations by sending your WhatsApp messages and your SMSs to 0913-023-6602. Do have a wonderful Wednesday morning.
This is the news on Good Governance Radio.
Systems are offline. This is the Good Governance Radio. GGR. Stay with us.